don't understand why the whole world is fighting Nigeria. It's like Nigeria is becoming a problem for the entire world. I just wake up today again, and then I saw this update on the news that Nigerians who were going on a pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia, on arrival at the Saudi airport, they were refused entry, their visas were revoked, and then they were asked by the airline to take them back to Nigeria. I didn't see anything wrong or any crime these Nigerians committed. They were going on a holy journey to Saudi Arabia. This is a period where most Arabs around the world, they go to Saudi Arabia on a pilgrimage. People who want to go there to do their holy journey. Everybody around the world does this journey. And then when a Nigerian tries to do it, he or she is being attacked by the authorities. Why? See, I'm a Cameroonian, but sometimes anything that happens to a fellow African country means that other African countries are bound to suffer the same fate, especially to Nigerians. If Nigerians are being attacked on a particular thing in the world, know that other African countries are bound to suffer the same fate. If you go to these countries, especially in Saudi Arabia or other Western countries, most of their top professionals are Nigerians. You go to hospitals, doctors are Nigerians. You go to engineering companies, top engineers are Nigerians. I mean, all renowned diplomatic positions or skilled positions, you always find a Nigerian involved in the team. But yet, these people keep treating Nigerians like trash. It is really, really disheartening. You know, these people did not commit any crime. They just want to go on a pilgrimage. You first of all issue them the visa. If you didn't want them to come, why will you even issue them the visa? You issue them the visa, and then on arrival, you're refusing them entry into your country. It's ridiculous. The way Nigerians are treated is bad. Germany is deporting 14,000. Now Saudi Arabia is refusing entry. At that time, it was this island that banned all Nigerians from coming there. A lot of things are happening, but it is not normal. It is not something that any African should look at it and be smiling. It's wrong. It's wrong. Nigerians are the most productive youth in Africa. That is the truth. But the way they are fighting them. But in 10 years' time, just from now, in 10 years' time, right, this Nigeria that everybody is trying to fight will be the destination that everybody wants to go to.
Shalom. I want to start off by giving all the praises, the glory, the honor to the Heavenly Father, whose name is YAHAWAH, and His only begotten Son, whose name is YAHAWASHI. To the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom. Shalom to the elect of Israel and all the sincere listeners out there. Double honors to the elders, the bishops, the great millstone, the one who taught me this truth according to the Bible. Some of these men have been laboring this truth for 40 plus years. They are double worthy of honors. Yes, just was reading this article earlier this morning, and I came across this article. So this guy was talking about, obviously, in Saudi Arabia, a large majority of Nigerians that has the they're Muslims, and they were going to Mecca, and they were granted the visas, but they were refused entry upon arrival. Every year, millions of Muslims from across the world gather annually in Mecca to perform HAJJ. This is a high holy holiday for the Muslim people. It's a sacred Muslim pilgrimage. It is pretty much for every able-bodied Muslim adult who has the financial means to do after the Prophet Muhammad. It's like a farewell pilgrimage from the 630 AD. That is the Prophet Muhammad. He is their prophet. That is the Ishmaelites. That's who they worship. Allah. Allah simply means God, but they pay homage to the Prophet Muhammad. And a lot of our people are into these various religions. And this guy was talking about in Nigeria, a lot of people from Nigeria, but a lot of the people in Nigeria is some of them. Africa is also once known as Negro land because of a lot of dark skin race, dark skin race, and it is really the land of Ham, the Hamites. A lot of African people are Hamites, right? Not because they're all dark skinned, they're all Israelites, but they're different shades, but different nations. And yes, some of them are from the seed of Ham, but also some of our people, Israelites, are into those countries because when Jerusalem was besieged in 67 to 70 AD, a lot of our people fled and went into Africa. I'll just pull up a quick map here to show you. See, where's Israel, Jerusalem? A lot of our people fled to the interiors, Nigeria and Ghana, different parts of continent of Africa. So we have a lot of our people that are scattered among these other nations as well. Right? Here's a better map. You look here, Israel in Jerusalem. You got Egypt, Libya, Niger, Chad. Come down here, Nigeria. So a lot of our people fled to the interior for safety, and they started to, that's where that new place is home, right? So this is why a lot of these things, a lot of our people are into these other nations, following, serving their other gods and everything. That's why I brought up the scripture here, Exodus 20, verse 3. This is, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And notice he says gods in lowercase because it's all idol worship. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. This is we Israelites, so-called Negro, so-called Latino, so-called Native American. Your seed goes back, right? To Isaac, the chosen seed, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Your seed goes back. So the Israelites, and this is what the Lord is saying, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So this guy here can't understand. So these people took all their savings, whatever they had to save, to go to the high holy holiday, but they were refused entry on the simple base of racism. So I'm not going to touch too much about this because I want this video to stay up, but you see, this is where all the confusion comes in. Our people is scattered into all nations, following the customs of all the other heathen nations, doing their things, but they're forsaken the Holy One of Israel, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. So you see, a lot of our people, we go into these nations. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah 3, verse 33. It says, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? I'll just bring it up in the standard format. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou taught the wicked one thy ways. The Lord is asking, why? Why are you forsaking me? Why you going to join the other nations just to be accepted? I brought up an article here when I was doing a search here. Check this out. So I query. It says, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? It says, this query is a verse from the King James Version of the Bible, Jeremiah 2, verse 33. It's a rhetorical question that the Most High asked the Israelites. He says, but who have forsaken him and turned to idolatry? Man, that is beautifully said. He says, it's a rhetorical question that the Most High asked the Israelites, who have forsaken him and turned to idolatry. See, The prophet Jeremiah compares them to a harlot who dresses up and uses all kinds of tricks to attract lovers. You hear this gentleman says in Nigeria have a lot of the doctors and a lot of the prominent people, but why? He can't figure it out because we are still under the curses. And all additional to that, a lot of these people are just simply racist. They hate us. Psalms 83, verse 4 down, it tells you all these nations that they hate us. Those are all our enemies, according to the Bible. You see, the prophet Jeremiah compares them to a harlot who dresses up and using all kinds of tricks to attract lovers. The Most High accused them of not only seeking love from the wicked, but also teaching them their ways. Right. So this is what is happening. So this is all scriptural, because our people into all these nations, we try to fit in. Now let's bring up the actual article here. Okay. This article here is is from a website called OK Africa. It was dated 2 weeks ago. It says, Nigerians headed to Mecca denied entry, forced to return home. Imagine you have all year to do their planning to go to Saudi Arabia, to go to Mecca on a high holy day. And when you get to the airport, you're not even allowed on the land other than the airport, and you were forced to return home. Imagine how you would feel. Just put anything aside. Doesn't matter whether you're in the faith or not. Just put anything aside. Imagine planning a trip, putting all that money together, because Saudi Arabia is not a cheap place to be. Even for hotel and logistics, it's not cheap. Just to get to the airport, you're allowed the visa. They take their money, you pay for your visa. But just to get there, then to be returned home. Man, I don't care who you are. That's going to hurt. And then you say why? For no apparent reason. So it says Saudi Arabia revokes visas for 170 Nigerian pilgrims en route to Mecca, leaving them stranded. Can you imagine? Diplomatic efforts secured entry for some, but many were forced to return home abruptly. Over 170 Nigerians traveled en route to Saudi Arabia found themselves denied entry as Saudi authorities reportedly revoked their visa upon arrival. It's wickedness. This incident unfolded with 264 passengers originated from Lagos and Kano who had diligently secured visas and undergone through screenings. You see, that's just going off right there before embarking in the journey. However, the unfortunate turn of events transpired as their visas were purportedly revoked while in transit. Upon landing in Saudi Arabia, authorities took the unprecedented step of refusing entry to the entire group, prompted instructions to the Nigerian Air Peace airline to repatriate the passengers back to Nigeria. The abrupt and unexplained visa cancellations left both travelers and airline officials baffled. No explanation whatsoever. And the affected individuals insisted that they had meticulously adhered to all requirements for the Middle Eastern country. 100%, because they would never have been granted the visas in the first place if they did never meet all the criteria. Amidst the confusion, no official statement has been issued by Saudi authorities regarding the incident, leaving the affected individuals and the public in dark about the motivations behind the mass visa revocation. In a commendable display of this diplomatic intervention, the Nigerian embassy stepped in to address the situation. As a result, Saudi Arabia permitted the entry of 87 passengers, while the remaining 177 were repatriated to Nigeria on Monday night. So imagine if the Nigerian officials didn't step in. So, but they only allowed 87 out of the 264 it was. So while the remaining 177 were repatriated back to Nigeria Monday night, the majority of these travelers were on a pilgrimage to undertake the lesser HAJJ, right? A sacred journey to the Islamic holy city of Mecca. Yeah, there's a little bit more to the article here, but that's the point. You know, it's like you plan something for the whole year. You You plant it and you take out, sell your money, maybe your savings, whatnot, to give reverence to the Ishmaelites' God. And that's what happened. You turn back. And that's why the Lord says, why trimmest thou ways to seek love? See, because they forsake the Holy One of Israel, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. And I know a lot of these people are Israelites. Yes, we're among all nations, right? So let's go to the book of bring it up from here. And this is what the Lord is saying. You know, this is one of the reasons why the Lord put us into various captivities, because we were serving all these other gods and doing a lot of idolatry. And that's one of the things the Lord hates, you know. But this is our people, you know. That's why the Lord says, book of Isaiah 45 verse 20. It says, assemble yourselves and come. Draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. See, ye that are escaped of the nations, that have no knowledge, that set up wood of their graven image, and pray to a God that cannot save. Because Yahawah BaHaShem Yahushai is the only God. There's no other book. There's no other book out there. Yahawah BaHaShem Yahushai, the Holy Bible, it's the only book that can declare the end from the beginning. So in the book of Deuteronomy, let's bring it up here for quickly. Deuteronomy 32:39. The Lord said, see now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. The Lord is telling you that He is the one in charge. He's the one who kill and make alive. He has the power to take our breath away. You know, that is the only one. This is why a lot of our people were praying to all these gods that cannot save. You know, this is the whole point. So we just try to do all these customs of the heathens. We like to fit into their whatever the law of the land they're doing. This is what we do. For example, we're at this time of year. Many of our people right now are in the malls shopping for Christmas presents. That's not our custom. They're shopping. You see, I recently had a conversation with a lady, Israelite lady, and she said that this year she wanted to get a real tree for Christmas, right? But that's all idolatry. You know, let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's go. Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, because she said she wanted to get a Christmas tree, right? And well, I didn't say much to her, but I was listening to her speak. Jeremiah chapter 10. It says, hear ye the word which the Lord, and his name is Yahawah, speaketh unto you, O house of Israel, yes, all 12 tribes. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, all these other nations. The Lord created 18 nations, and only Israel is his portion. So he's referring to all these other nations. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. They're not paying attention to these things because it's not in their books, right? For the verse 3 is the point. For the customs of the people are vain. All these things that they do, all these ornaments and all these shrines and all these images that they pray on. It says, for the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. This goes into the Christmas trees right now. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. That's cutting down the Christmas trees, right? They deck it with silver and gold. That's what you look at when you see the Christmas tree, all the ornaments. And fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. This is what our people do. This is we follow the heathen customs. We're going around year after year, getting all these customs, going to the mall and doing this Christmas shopping. It's all idolatry, right? Every year, millions and millions of trees are cut down, right? Bear with me for 1 second here. Every year, we cut down all these trees. For what? Because of it's for greed, for the sake of greed, right? It's all vanity, right? The same devils that push this narrative here. I would have to bring it here because I don't want to say it, but it's the change, you know, the sea change. 1 second. Okay, so the same devil that's pushing the narrative of this type of change, right? Doesn't even say, but anyways, that pushes all this, the sea change. Pay attention, right? So these are the same ones that are pushing that. Guess what? It's the same, these same trees that are being cut down year after year after year to put into someone's living room to make a smile on a child's face or make all the people happy. These are the same trees that help use to cool the earth, right, and keeps us alive, right? Imagine this world imagine this world without trees. It wouldn't the world we wouldn't be around if bear with me for a sec, sorry. We wouldn't be around if there was no trees, right? So the same devil that's pushing the sea change, talking about the world is heating up because of what we're doing, is the same one that's cutting down the trees, right? To but make that make sense. All because of greed, right? It's all because of greed, and they slaughter all these trees for vanity, right? It's a very vain custom. That's the custom of the heathen, right? And all these fir trees are cut down. And yes, the fir tree is the tree, the number one tree that they use to for the Christmas tree. All these fir trees are being cut down. Let's go to the book of bear with me for 1 second here. Yeah, this the fir tree is the main one that they use. So let's go to the book of Isaiah in the 14th chapter. Go right to the point. Isaiah 14, verse 8. Let's see. You see, right now, this is what's happening right now. So all this stuff that they're pushing, this is why we need, you understand? This is why we need salvation. This is why we need deliverance from this place, because when these devils are taken out of power, this is when the whole world will be at rest, right? Because there will be none of this nonsense in the kingdom. Isaiah 14, verse 8. Yea, the fir trees. Remember I said earlier, the fir tree is the main tree that they use for Christmas trees. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, even the trees. Because why? This is what happened. And the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down. See, not since these devils go out of power, no fella is come up against us. You remember I just read in Jeremiah the 10th chapter that the workman with the axe cutting down the trees, right? So now Isaiah 14 verse 8, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. This is why these devils need to be taken out, because they do it for wickedness. On one breath, they're talking about the sea change, and the other breath they're talking about all these other for the money. Because imagine if every Israelite come back to the true identity and start to worship Yahawah Yahawashi, all these vain customs will be removed from the Israelites, and that will put a serious blow into the economy, into their economy, because that's where they get all the money. Because Jake don't have Jake don't make these tree plants, these tree farms. Jake don't have these malls. We don't have none of these things. Some of us don't even have a pot to put on the stove. Don't even have a place to call our own. So imagine if every Israelite turned back their wicked ways to Yahawah Yahawashi, turned back to the Lord power of Israel, Yahawah Yahawashi. There would be none of these vain customs, and they would lose a lot of money. So they can't have that. They cannot have that. See, so this is why, back in March of 2012, like I said, I don't want to make this lesson too long. I'm going to close out shortly after this one here, but back in 2012, there was it was a kids movie called The Lorax, and it had a very powerful message, right? Let me bring it up really quickly here. It had a very powerful message, and it was really about the Lorax movie teaches children about the importance of protecting the environment and the nature, nature is not something disposable and pointless. It shows the power of perseverance and warn against the dangers of being too greedy. See, that's once again all greed and not thinking about others. The movie also teaches that greed and materialism are futile goals. That's vanity, right? You know what? 1 second here. I had put a better one here, but that's the point. Let me see. 1 second. Let me see if I can grab it here quickly. Let's see. I think I had it on my phone earlier, but let's see. Bear with me for 1 second. Here we go. Yeah, it says the Lorax meant that unless someone cares about a situation, nothing will improve. The once idler didn't care about harming the land, birds, water, and animals, because that's what happens when you cut down the trees. What is affected? The birds, the land, the water surrounded, you know, and the animals, right? All these things of nature suffer. You see, this is what happens. So as a result, they cut down all the trees. But if you picture this world without trees, we won't be here today because the trees help us breathe, right? As a result, as a result, he cut them all down and destroyed the environment. And this is what is happening right now. And this is why they're pushing that narrative about the sea change. But the same devil that's destroying the trees and destroying the environment is the same one that's pushing that whole narrative of the sea change, because that's for them to bring in their whole agendas. And this is why they continue saying that. But you see, let's finish off here with this. Let's finish off with this. Yes, Psalms 82, starting at verse 2. It says, How long will ye judge unjustly, and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. That is us, the Israelites. Deliver the poor and needy. That's the Israelites. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked, because we're under their strongholds. Yet today we're still in our captivity. They know not, neither will they understand. Why? Because they walk on in darkness, and all the foundations of the earth are out of course. And that's the point I was trying to make. But until these devils go down, you know, even the fir trees will be rejoicing, right? So with that, I hope that you've been edified. Until the next time, I say, Lord's willing, Abaratasa, Shalom, Israel.